What's up, everybody? This is Devin White, linebacker for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You're listening to the LCC Network. Go Bucks.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Commissioner's Clubhouse and the LCC Network for Week 4, Part 1 of our fantasy football episode, I guess you want to call it. But yeah, with us today, for the first time since Week 1, we got Isaac Eubanks in the house. And of course, Jameson, what's going on, y'all?
I'm back, bitches.
Isaac is back, and here we are, Week 4. A couple of LCC headlines to kick it off. Contenders crippled early. So teams that we said had legit chances are struggling through the first 3 weeks. Cody, Isaac, Cameron, myself, all 1-2. Peyton at 0-3. What's really interesting is Peyton actually leads his division in points for, and he's 0-3. More points than Billy, who is 3-0, which I thought was an interesting statistic as I was looking over some of that information. Eastside Brawlers breaks the total point record, but does not become Mr. 400, barring a stat change.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, barring a stat change, that could happen.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. I thought that was pretty cool to see that broken, at least for now. We'll see what happens. And then our last headline, Daquan Storm's back in one of the largest single-player last-minute comebacks ever. I think he was down by like 50-something points, if I'm not mistaken, heading into Monday night, 60-something points, and came back and beat Jordan in a thrilling game that I woke up to this morning to see Daquan had won and to see that Storm had come back and beat Cameron, which was also very surprising.
That was Sunday night though.
Was that Sunday night?
That was Sunday night. Daquan beat Jordan last night.
Oh, okay. All right. So maybe that was. Sorry, I've got all my days mixed up. But I do remember the Daquan thing this morning. I was shocked about the Storm thing though. I felt like I was.
You also woke up to your loss.
Yeah, but I mean, I was only up 15 points, so I already had a feeling that was going to happen. Unless Landon Collins got hurt, there really wasn't any way that I wasn't gonna.
He only had 5 at halftime. I thought, well, maybe there's a chance.
No, yeah, I knew I wasn't going to hold. I went to bed already knowing that there was no chance. And it sucks to score 300 points and lose, but I know Peyton kind of had that same thing happen to him this week too. So where Billy stormed back into one. So it was a lot of comebacks this week. So for this episode, guys, we've got a really quick game of Jewel or Junk. We've got one player from each position that we thought we just want to kind of mention really quickly to see if it's a player worth keeping or someone that you could junk off your team. And then we've got some rapid fire for this episode. We haven't done that in a while. We've got some very interesting topics that Patrick's put together that we're going to run through for the episode. And then, of course, the next one we release later will be the Week 4 projections type episode. So are you guys ready to jump into this?
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right, so Jewel or Junk, we haven't done this in a while, just so you can kind of a quick refresher. We're going to mention a player, say if it's someone that's a Jewel, worth holding on to, or Junk, someone you can get off your roster. Baker Mayfield, quarterback. He has not been productive at all. He's been on most people's benches the entire time. I think he's only eclipsed 30 points once, if I'm not mistaken. And he's playing Baltimore this week, guys. Is this someone that you guys would hold on to? Or that you would get? He's only averaging 26 points a game.
For me, he's junk. He's only broken 30 once. Now it's against the Jets. If he just go look at his football stats. I mean, last week he was 18 of 36. The week before, 19 of 35. He's thrown 3 touchdowns and he's thrown 5 picks in 3 games. This is a guy I'd be okay with moving on. And even if there's not a great backup out there in free agency, I say he's still worth cutting and just picking up another player at a different position and then stream whatever quarterback you can find when you have that bye week. He's not worth keeping.
Or get super lucky and pick up Daniel Jones before he has his breakout game against the Buccaneers. You know, that also works.
That's right.
Yeah, that works too. Right. Build a time machine to go back and get that done. I feel bad because Big Oss just texted me like 5 or 10 minutes ago saying we always shit on his team. and then the very first player is Baker Mayfield, who he has on the bench.
but-
I feel kind of bad, but
But it's his bench player. It's his bench
to be
player.
fair, he does not like Baker Mayfield. That was a Bryson move before he left. But, it was just the best available on his team. So he's just been riding on the bench since. But, yeah, man, I feel he's definitely junk. You should just honestly just cut him and let him go. If he starts picking back up, you could try to get him back. But, I mean, like me with Trubisky, Trubisky through a couple games, he looked like a fantasy MVP quarterback. But, he just panned out. And you just can't go off by name on fantasy. You guys just go off by production. So just cut him loose.
Next name here. This one breaks my freaking heart. Damian Williams, running back for the Kansas City Chiefs. Guys, 26 points in week 1. He got in the end zone. Week 2, 12 points. Week 3, it didn't play. He seems to be losing his job to LaShawn McCoy, or at the very best case scenario, in a very bad timeshare. Running is inefficient. Outside of catching passes, he's not doing much. Guys, I think it's time to junk Damian Williams, unfortunately.
Yep. That committee is starting to turn into like an Eagles committee where everybody gets a hand on the ball and you just don't know who's going to have the game. And it just looks like Damian Williams is getting pushed further and further and further back in that depth chart, even with his extended contract in the offseason. It's kind of sad because he had the opportunity. He looked great in the playoffs last year, but right now he's just junk.
Okay. Yep. Any thoughts there from you, Pat?
Yeah. He was about to be tossed from on my other roster in the different league, but unfortunately, due to some stupid stuff going on in that league, I can't really pick anyone up right now. So to replace him, but he would be junk.
I like how our Julian Junks are like half on our team.
Yeah.
I know, right? In some way, form, or fashion, that's how it works out.
That's how it works out, yeah. Zach Ertz, tight end for the Eagles, 13, 19, and 13 points. Guys, he hasn't turned it on this year at all. This is an Eagles team that is struggling. They're 1-2. Carson Wentz, they're banged up too, which makes me believe why is Zach Ertz not getting the ball. Alshon Jeffrey's not there. Deshaun Jackson's not there. Are you guys Jewel or junk? What do you guys think?
I think I say still Jewel. I don't want to toss him just yet if I'm an Ertz owner. I think he could have a bounce back point. I mean, the Eagles know they can't keep doing what they're doing to win ball games. So I think you could see Ertz get involved a little bit more in that offense. And Isaac can attest to this. He was one play away from getting a touchdown and having
he dropped it in the end zone.
So
yeah, I agree.
mean,
hold on to him for another week. See what happens.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason I haven't dropped him yet. Cameron said that he's ass, which, he's just wrong, honestly, with the pure target volume and his connection with Wentz. He's the best receiver on the team. Take out his position as tight end, he's still the best receiver on that team with everybody healthy. So, you saw Nelson Aguilar get 2 touchdowns last week. That easily can Zach Ertz. And like I said, he dropped 1. So, I mean, I didn't watch the game, so I don't know if his drop turned into a Nelson Aguilar touchdown. I don't know. But Zach Ertz he's a PPR machine. He gets lots of catches, lots of targets. Last year, he was hyper efficient with all the touchdowns he was getting. Obviously, he's regressing now, but he definitely can pick back up. He normally finishes around 6 to 8 touchdowns in a year. So we're already through 3 games, so he should be picking it up shortly.
Yep, hold him for another week. Von Miller, defensive end. This has been.
Come on, man.
I don't understand how a guy like Von Miller doesn't get a single sack through 3 games and barely getting any tackles. The game scripts are not in his favor. If you've got Von Miller, I've got him. He's getting cut. By the time you guys listen to this episode, he will be off my team, and I would recommend you guys do the same.
Yeah, he's definitely junk. There's another big name that it's very hard to cut ties with. Just the name itself, it should carry its weight, but he's just not doing it. And the whole Broncos itself they're just not doing very well. So I mean, he's just, until he starts getting hot and start getting sacks, he's never been a tackles guy anyway. But as far as sacks, he's normally in the conversation of the sack leader every single year. In just 3 games and no sacks.
Yeah, for me, Von Miller's he's junk unless you get him on a good matchup. I wouldn't roster him unless I've got a guy on a bye. I see Von Miller's available. Yeah, he's playing a team like I don't know. Who's someone I can't think of any like Tennessee, for example. Boom, plug him in. That should be a good start. Other than that, I would not roster him.
Yep.
If he doesn't get a sack against Tennessee and they give up to 9 to Jacksonville, there's something wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So he's definitely just a matchup play at this point. Tremaine Edmonds, Pat, another one of your players here. 26, 25, and 13. He's not really turning it on. I mean, he hasn't, but he didn't bust in his first 2 games per se, but he's been riding benches the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and he's been riding my bench. Well, this is actually the first week he rode my bench, and at first I was like, man, I can't believe I'm benching Tremaine Edmonds for Shaq Thompson.
Yeah, I was.
It ended up panning out.
Oh God, I was hoping you were going to start him, and then here's Shaq Thompson drops like a 50 piece on me and won the game.
Yeah, Tremaine Edmonds, but I think we got to hold him at least for another week or 2, right?
And I will say the Bengals, that's not a favorable matchup for most linebackers. That you're not getting a ton of linebacker points when you play the Bengals. That was a tough one. They've got the Patriots this week. We'll see how that goes. I could see him getting a lot of garbage time points in week 4, but at the moment, I'm going to hold off before I say junk.
I would say Jewel. He's young. It's only 3 games into the season. He was crazy good last year. He's just got to turn it on, and it's just too early to give it on him yet.
Okay. Last one, Earl Thomas, 20 points, 3 points, 19 points. Guys, this is easy for me. If my DB's not getting more than 28 or 30 points a week, junk.
Well, I mean, in our rankings at the beginning of the year, he was pretty low anyway. I mean, this is not a surprise to me.
I didn't think it would be due to production, though. I thought it'd be more due to maybe him just getting hurt or something like that. But I mean, he's had only 3 solo tackles the entire year so far. And the only reason he had 20 points in week 1 is because he had a pick. If it wasn't for that, the guy would have had like 5 points in week 1 and 3 in week 2. It's not a guy that I would ever. I'm surprised he's rostered. I'll put it that way. It does kind of surprise me at this point. I don't think he's worth.
It's purely name,
looking at.
Honestly.
Yeah.
All right.
Like Von Miller.
Cool. Are you guys ready for some? You guys ready for some rapid fire? We haven't done this. So
do it.
I don't have a sound drop yet.
Pow pow.
We haven't done this one in a while. Rapid fire. Just to remind everybody, we'll go through these pretty quickly. So this will be a shorter episode. If I want to, though, I reserve the right to stop on a question to discuss it further or follow-up questions. I reserve that right, but we're gonna go through it fairly quickly. Hence the name.
One quick question. It's not in here and we didn't talk about it. AB, Cameron is still rostering him. If you were him, would you not drop him?
I would drop him. I told him to drop him. Yeah,
I don't see the reason, but just besides just pure stubbornness, not to drop him. He's not on a team. He's looked like he's going to be suspended. He says he doesn't want to play football anymore, but you're still going to keep him on your team. Just it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Jameson, what do you think?
I'd probably cut him, honestly. Even if he does come back and get signed to a team, commissioner exempt list for 8 weeks maybe, I'm not interested. I mean, it's just too much roster clog for me.
Especially in the season right now. If it's at the end of the season, you're going to the off season, sure, you can roster him. You can use a keeper on him, just hoping that he's going to go to a great team and things work out. But in season right now, when you're struggling at 1 and 2, I mean, you should use that position to something that can help your team.
Yeah. All right, guys, rapid fire. So first question. Would you rather Peyton at 0-3, trailing Billy in the division by 3 games, or Tyler at 0-3, but only trailing BP by 2 games?
I'd rather be Peyton at 0-3.
I'd rather be Peyton too. His team's better.
Yeah. He's scoring a lot of points. Really, really good team, and he could obviously still make a lot of make a comeback in that division. So Another question from Patrick: is it too early to call Matt a legit playoff contender? He has the second most points for in the top shotas and is tied for first place in the division at 2-1.
No, I don't think it's too early.
No, he's won 2 championships. You know, he's starting off hot. I mean, he's got a legit team. I think he's a legit playoff contender. If I don't know if he could necessarily going to come away with the conference, but he definitely should be in the playoffs.
300-point games and a good week 3, even though he didn't win the game. No, I think he's in that conversation. So, do you see Todd Gurley finishing above or below his current? Well, I guess there's one or the other. Finishing above his current RB ranking of 18 by the end of the year. So above his ranking of 18 by the end of the year.
All right. I'm going to say I see him doing above.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I think
I think he's going to finish above that.
Yeah, I think wait, you think he's going to be like in the 20s?
No. I mean, well, above no. So he's 18, so above that would be like 17 or higher. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think towards the end of the season he's going to pick it up and he's going to start getting utilized more. They're just saving him in the beginning of the season.
But we did predict this. Predict this. Just saying. Do you see Jade's team? Do you see value in Jade's team more or less or the same after his trades today?
Go ahead and explain the trades.
He traded James Conner for Jamie Collins. He traded Le'Veon Bell for Darnell Savage. And
Terrell Edmonds.
Terrell Edmonds. So Terrell Edmonds, Darnell Savage, and Jamie Collins for Le'Veon Bell and James Conner.
Yeah, I think he's definitely way better now than where he was.
As far as
he's probably about the same.
As far as a point standpoint, he's going to get more points from those DBs than his running backs. But I don't necessarily understand the James Conner one. But I thought ours was very beneficial to both sides. I mean, Pat himself told me, dude, you know, he robbed you because, I mean, Terrell Evans was averaging 44 points a game and Darnell Savage was doing 33. But, you know, I just like Le'Veon Bell. But anyway, I think that he definitely is better.
Oh, I'm sure Jade's glad to hear that people think that he's moving in the right direction. Another question here. This one is, we'll try to avoid some of the political stuff here, Patrick. Would you rather wear an AB jersey to a bar in Oakland or a Kaepernick jersey to a Trump rally?
I'll answer that one.
I'll let
Kaepernick jersey at a Trump rally. I would love to rub in some rednecks.
Dude, I would be afraid I would get shot. Like, oh no, I would much rather wear the AV jersey. At least I could say, hey, I'm a Raiders fan. Like in that situation with the Kaepernick jersey, like someone's gonna do something stupid. Like, there's no way I could do it.
You're just a bitch, that's why.
I'd much rather just go naked. I think we'll just either one of those seems that sounds like a good time, right? Naked at a Trump rally or naked at a bar, right? Either way, someone's touching me, and I'm probably gonna like it. Is Patrick? Come on, man. Is Kyle Allen the real deal? Did you really put this question in here?
I did put it in there because I've been hearing people say that. I've been hearing people say that.
Come on, man. Not yet. We cannot declare Kyle Allen the real deal after a single game against Arizona's defense. Can't do it.
Okay. So question. Do you think Daniel Jones is the real deal after one game against OK defense?
It's tough for me to say anyone's the real deal after one game. So no, I'm not ready to declare either one of these guys franchise quarterbacks after one game.
I mean, Kyle Allen could definitely just like throw 4 picks and 0 touchdowns next week, and it would not surprise me. So it's way too early to say he's the real deal. As far as Daniel Jones, I mean, I think he is because I think our defense is well improved. He showed it both passing and running. You know, he looks legit. Not saying he's going to be a Super Bowl winner, but he looks definitely like the face of the Giants now.
All right, and last 2 questions here. What team do you fear the most in the top shotas, and what team do you fear the most in the Elite 12? Patrick, is fear the right word? Should you ever be afraid of somebody?
Yeah, you should. If you go into a dark alley and you see Aaron Donald in there and that's it, you get a little scared. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be in that situation. Like,
I'm not talking about an NFL player. I'm talking about a fantasy team to a fantasy team. Like, should you be like, fear sounds a little strong to me, right? The only person I'm afraid of is when Mike robs my house in the middle of the night. Like, I don't have that security system on. Like,
How about this? Which team are you nervous to play in the top
Sure.
the
shot?
team I wouldn't want to face in the top shot is Mufali, because he leads that conference in scoring. He's 300 plus in 2 games. And even though he's 2-1, he only got beat by a team that literally broke the scoring record this past week. So if there's a team out there that I would try to avoid, it'd probably be Mufali's team right now.
Yeah, same answer for me.
Pat?
yeah, I'm going to go. I'm actually going to go in a different direction. I'm going to go Michael. And I know some people are, well,
Oh God.
you jeer at it. But here's the deal, dude. He's scored the 3rd most fantasy points in the Top Shotters Conference. So if you think Matt is legit, I mean, why not Michael? He's doing just as good.
But he doesn't strike fear into me or doesn't make me nervous. That's not what that's not the question. Is he a contender?
You know what Pat wants to do with Michael?
If you want to crown him, then crown her.
That's right.
That's what Pat wants to do. No, I mean, that's a fair point. What about the Elite 12? Who do you guys try to avoid in the Elite 12?
Me. If I had to play myself, I'd be very nervous.
I
Oh
knew you'd say
God! You
something
know
like
what?
that.
I'm gonna
Come on, man.
No, honestly, mine is damn John. That defense is very legit.
It lights you up.
Yeah.
It lights you
Yeah,
up.
he's just too deep.
Go ahead, Pat.
Deep.
Too deep.
No, I'm going to.
That's fun. I cannot believe you missed.
No.
That's what she said. Come on, Isaac.
I'm going to.
You've
I'm
been
not
off the
gonna call
show.
it myself. It's
You've been
not.
off
It's
the
not
show.
funny.
You've been off the show too long, man.
I
Get off
can't
the
call it
show.
on myself.
All right, Pat. Who were you gonna say?
I'm going to go with Eastside Brawlers. I mean,
I just said that.
I know that. I'm just saying. I'm agreeing with you. I mean, he scored. I mean, after a stat change, possibly over 400 points. So yeah, I'm a little nervous to play him again for sure.
I'm gonna say Tyler. Cause
Get out of
it's opposite day. No, yeah, probably, definitely. I think John. I don't have a good record against him. He's one of the owners that I've struggled when I've played against him, and his team is legit.
I typically own John, but he beat me pretty good when we played this week. Hopefully, I get him when players are on bye weeks.
Cool. Well, that's it, guys. That's all the questions we have. So that's it for rapid fire. That wasn't very rapid, but that's okay. We had fun either way. Next episode, just like every week, episode 2 is going to be the week 4 previews. So we'll be back, and I guess the next day. For you guys listening to this. Anything before we get off, guys?
Nope.
Nope.
That's it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next episode.